Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent with Listings to Leads. How are you today? We're going to just wait a couple minutes here. Call for top tools for more listings. So if you're looking for more listings, this is definitely the call to be on. I see people logging in now. If you don't mind, let me know what state you're in. Also, do you have listings now? And just say yes or no. And there are tools for you if you have listings, and there are tools for you if you don't have listings, both to get you, all of these are designed to get you more listings. And while we're waiting, we'll wait another minute here. I will say this, what I'm about to share with you is actually working for clients right now. Like, we're getting feedback every day from our clients all over the country. So definitely stay tuned. Listen to what we get into. I'll try not to go too fast. Let me have a sip here and then we'll get started. Okay, so I think we're recording. So let's get into it. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads. And let's talk about a number of ways to capture listing leads. Or more importantly, I want to say to get listings, okay? You may not know this about us. We've been here for 16 years. And we really exist and have survived and grown because we are very good at helping clients capture leads. And those leads, those can come from all kinds of different tools, right? It can come from Facebook ads, Google ads. We have listings, PDF guides, landing pages, single property websites, virtual tours. We have free social media content. We have email blasts that you can do that engage home buyers and home sellers. We also have drip campaigns for home sellers. And then we also have print tools like a nearby homeowner letter and just sold postcards and door hangers for instant home value. So there are a lot of ways, whether it's free social media, paid ads, print, or email, to capture seller leads here, okay? But I want to take a pause and talk about the thing that nobody really wants to talk about is that's converting leads. How good are you at converting leads? What kind of systems do you have at converting leads? And we could go on and have a whole class about that, right? The best ways of doing that and what kind of tools you should use. But I want to talk about something different that we're seeing from our clients this year, and most recently, something that's really just exploded over here in the past few months. And what I'm getting at is hand to hand, right? Like, instead of going out there and capturing leads and taking 2 weeks or 2 months or even 2 years to convert a lead, what about meeting somebody that has a real need right now, right? And who's thinking right now, and that you can actually meet? Because I'm pretty sure if you're all in real estate, you're all very friendly and personable people. So meeting people is really key. And while we can talk for an hour about, hey, you can capture leads this way or capture leads over here this way, which I will get into in the second half of this call. If you are meeting people and you're offering value and they have a need, you're going to be having listings very quickly, okay? And we see this happening in a matter of days and even hours, okay? So as we log into Listings to Leads, you can see that we have, it's a group, calling it the Expired Listing Pipeline Builder. And that right now is literally the number one way of getting listings right now, okay? And here's why. It's obvious, and I'm not sure how long all of you have been realtors, but if somebody has a listing and it didn't sell, obviously they still want to sell it. So there are some things to think about when approaching these folks. Maybe you don't want to call them in the first 48 hours when they're just getting hammered by people. But we have a really awesome set of tools to help you engage those people. And I'm going to just show you, if you can see my screen here, we actually have a really awesome listing presentation designed, if you can see that, for your expired home. And this thing, it's high quality. There's some links you can buy it. I'll show you where you can go buy it in our mastermind group. But that is starting conversations for our clients, for agents like you, by just simple door knocking or by having a phone call and doing a door knock after that and bringing that by. And that is the number one thing going on, expired listings. And it's funny, I'll show you in a moment. A lot of realtors have been in the business for a long time and they don't want to There are two things. It's this expired, and the next thing I'm going to tell you, they don't like to do these things because they haven't really had a good experience or a good return. But that's why you want to get in that class right there. There's a whole lot of agents. It's actually a private mastermind group. There's a whole lot of agents getting into this, understanding how to approach these expireds, understanding the tools to use. That way you are getting face to face with people who literally want to sell their home. This is going to shorten your conversion cycle tremendously, literally down to minutes and hours. Okay. So when you log in, you're going to see this, join this. I'm not going to be able to go in complete detail, but I will show you a few more things about the expireds, right? Before we dive into some of the nuts and bolts, I want to also bring this up. So if you go into your account and you go to marketing calendar, you will see that there's a daily task. There's like a calendar. If you don't have a lot going on, you should actually work through these. If you click on each one, this is sold marketing. It shows you a checklist, shows you really detailed instructions on how to do this. And then if you have homes that are sold or pending to market, you can just choose which one and go market that. Obviously, Tuesday is all about getting listing leads. Monday is all about getting buyer leads. And Wednesdays, it's back and forth on PDF guides. So seller leads one week, buyer leads next week. And then Thursday and Friday are using some of our landing pages and niche marketing to go out and market. So if you have a fair amount of time, it would be wise to get these things out on the internet, right? But I want to point this out. At the top, above this big banner, it says resources. And there are some very important sources for you. I see some questions coming up. So please put your questions in now. I'm going to just finish this page and then we're going to answer those questions. We have an awesome YouTube channel. Actually, I'm going to start with the live webinars right here. So that will take you to this page right here. And if you go to leadgenwebinars.com, you will land on this page. And actually, this page is really important to our discussion today. I'm going to explain to you why. I'm going to send this link to everybody on the call. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, or wherever you are, say hi, and you should see this link coming into, right? And this is the link to this page. And this is why it's really important to our discussion today. Obviously, today, top tools for more listings, okay? Tomorrow is open houses. And you know how I said the number one way of getting listings right now is expireds? That's actually a new phenomena, right? This is a new thing that we released in some new formats, and it is just taking off for agents all over the country. But pretty much all year long, prior to that, the number one way of getting listings was actually holding open houses. And this is another one of those activities that seasoned agents don't like to do. And they're busy. And I think, to be honest, there's always like a survey by NAR or somebody saying, is it in your seller's interest for you to hold an open house? And it's always like 50-50. Everybody's yes or no. And I tell you, if you're just dropping a date and time in the MLS and waiting for things to happen, it's probably not really worth it for you to do. I talk to realtors all the time and they just say, oh, one person, two people came through, right? If you're using our system, you're going to find that you're going to get buyers and you're going to get homeowners who are thinking of selling into that open house. That is why open houses were the number one way almost all year, ever since spring of 2025 up until about September. That was the number one way. And we have a lot of calls. I'll point them out to you in a moment. If we keep scrolling down this page, Facebook, and actually a lot of Facebook ads can turn into seller leads. So definitely you want to understand Facebook, right? And then there is a class on Thursday about expired. So Scott's going to be going in deep detail about that. And I want to point this out. You see this? It says JJ won 4 listings in 6 weeks. That's just one of the stories. We literally have this expired story coming in a couple times a week of people just saying, wow, we're getting so much here. I'll dive in a little bit further. So that's Thursday morning, okay? Then we have a class for lenders. And on Friday, we're going to be talking about pending marketing. And pending marketing is pending and sold marketing is designed to get you more listings. So pretty much this week in training, it's all like multiple classes on how to get listings. This link is in your comments panel now. So make sure and leverage that. Now, remember in here, I also said there's a YouTube channel. Let's talk about the YouTube channel. On this videos page right here is the call with JJ. Okay. Actually, that's a short one. So I think we chopped it up for our own marketing. But JJ's call is right here. It's 11 minutes. And I want to tell you, and I'm going to show you a snippet in a moment. She is getting listings, not even, she's using the print version that we have here for expired. She's just finding the expires in her MLS, doing some due diligence, finding the information, and she's got the electronic version of this. I'm going to show you that to you in a minute. And she got 4 listings in 6 weeks. All right. And this lady up here signed up for a 2-week free trial, which everybody does here. And in the first day closes her first listing. She actually had a listing lead. She took a listing presentation. I had a call with her immediately after signing up, and she closed that in 1 day. Okay. In 1 day. Now, this call here is another guy, and he is using the expired marketing print. And I really recommend watching this call because he gives you his voice, he calls people, right? Both of these people are calling agents. I'm going to drop this link in here right now to the YouTube channel. John has a very simple voicemail that he leaves. It's non-salesy. It's to the point. Calls 5 people, 2 respond, 1 turns into a listing. That's pretty awesome results, right? Now, the call is good. His strategy of when and how to do it is good, but I'm going to show you the tool that's closing it. Okay. The interesting thing about the expireds is I see a lot of rookies doing it, right? I think a lot of seasoned professionals in the industry have maybe experienced expireds and thought, oh, I don't like it. They experience open houses. Oh, I don't like it. This guy right here, Scott Murray, same thing. He's a seasoned realtor from EXP, and he's using it as well. You got to check out Scott Murray. Okay. So get into this YouTube channel after the call and watch and listen to what they are saying, how they are applying this. Okay. Now, one more resource back on the resource page is our mastermind group. Okay. It says join group. If you're a client, you can join the group. And right at the top, there'll be a button over here that says join. Right at the top is where you can join our mastermind group for the expireds workshop. Over here is where you can order there's a cover letter on this button, on this tab here. You can also order these magazines. Now, there is a setup process. We want to make sure we have the right pictures in there because you're going to be printing this long-term kind of thing. So there's like an $80 setup, and each pamphlet costs $8. We're working with Mailbox Power, really high quality. This is something that I think everybody should have. Now, you remember when I was pointing out over here on the YouTube channel, this gentleman here, John Summers, that was recorded a month ago. Okay. And he was telling us, yeah, I make these great phone calls and I get meetings and I bring over that pamphlet and I'm having serious conversations and writing listings. So you got to watch that. But in the mastermind group, he came in here yesterday. Okay. And he said, hey, I just wrote a $500,000 contract. It came from an open house I did several months ago. Client requested information about the open house and the AI text follow-up. Boom. He said $50 investment turns into a great ROI. This is awesome, right? This is just part of the platform. And he gets the lead from the open house. So that's a little bit of the background. This is why I want you to get into these things, because I want you to hear that. Before we go any further, let's answer everybody's questions that are coming in. First of all, thank you for being here and thank you for asking your questions because I think it helps everybody. Pete from New York, I have a builder that lets me market his listings up to the point of actually going live. Any suggestions? Yeah, I would add that listing, suggestions to best market those so I can try to get buyers out of the deal. Yeah. So when you get into, here's the number one thing you should do, Pete. Go to listings. So are these not on the MLS yet? You can market models, right? That's a story. Add the listing manually here. Get a few pictures from the builder, maybe a floor plan, and run ads on Facebook. Okay. That is the number one way to get buyers, running ads on Facebook. As I mentioned, Scott's doing a class on Facebook marketing later this week. So you can watch how there. And it actually, Facebook is a great way to get sellers. We'll be talking about that as well. But I want to get into this point, right? If you're trying to convert a seller lead from Facebook or from Google, it's going to be longer than using our expired marketing or our open houses. The conversion is going to be longer. Definitely, you can get low-cost leads from Facebook, longer conversion, right? That's the short story. Okay. Is that for sale? Yeah, Kelly, this book is for sale. Is that your question? This book is for sale. It's in the mastermind group. And it's not like we're charging any markup. We just want everybody to succeed here. You can order those right here on this page. There is a setup process. We got to make sure you like the mock-up before you open it. Okay, before you order. Oh, hello. Hi, Bill. Hi, Joanne. Oh, John, you're here. Awesome. Thanks. Glad you're here. I don't know if you heard me mention you. Peter, hello from South Florida. I can tell you, Peter, I have lots of clients in Florida leveraging our expireds and our straight up listing presentation. We're going to get into all this in a minute. The resource tab, Joanne, it's over here on the very top tab. It's marketing calendar on top, and resources are right here. And all the things, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and live webinars are right here. Yeah. Okay. Got it. You got it. Okay. Okay. It looks like everybody is good. Let's keep going then. So let's recap a little bit, right? I said in the beginning, expireds are the number one way of getting listings right now. Open house marketing has been number one most of the year, but it's really our listing presentation that is making it happen. So let's go find where we get that. Okay. So on the listings page, you will all see a tab that says listing presentation. And the listing presentation flipbook is like an online magazine. I have it right here. It's already designed for you. It's got your colors. It's got your headshot. It's got your logo on every page of this. And let me tell you, agents keep coming back and saying this thing is closing deals all over the place. So you need to get comfortable with this. Okay. You need to go right over here and go to your listings page, go to listing and get that flip book. Now you can download it here, but we're working on that. It's not formatted right. So flip book is really the way to go. And I'll just tell you, this page right here, the QR code is really making it go. So this is a generic one. It's in everybody's account right now. But you can actually go to your listings and create a listing as a listing presentation. So hold the press. This is really the major point, okay? You can actually go right here and say, I want to manually create a listing, and I'm going to create it as a listing presentation. And I'm going to put the homeowner's name and beautiful home in whatever city, the address, and just save and add one photograph. That's all you do. So instead of having a generic listing presentation, which is really cool, and it's definitely working, you would actually create a unique listing presentation for that homeowner showing only their house, right? And so here's where it really gets important. We've had people convert FSBOs from this. We've had people convert cancels from this. If you get a listing presentation, like you capture a lead, maybe you get a seller lead from Facebook, or you mail out a nearby homeowner letter or something, and you get seller lead, you can create this for that home with that homeowner's name on it. Okay. Complete marketing plan to get your home sold. Then when you go through it and you're talking to them, this is what your home's going to look like on Facebook and Instagram. I do social media marketing. I make a YouTube video. This nowhere on here does it say that this is listings to leads doing all this for you. This is what you bring to the table. And it is 100% branded. This is the 100-point marketing plan, Kelly. This is it. It's just a different call. It's a different name. It's our listing presentation, 100+ marketing plan. Okay. So Kelly, are you sending this in print, or are you sending it in this format here? So I want to finish here. This is everything that we do automatically for listing marketing, and this is what you're bringing to the table. And I think the value of this thing is that it's comprehensive, right? Because I think most agents are going to talk about their skill. which of course everybody has a lot of value there, maybe their brand, and probably about I put it in the MLS and wait for things to happen, right? So now have an electronic format, and I'm going to pull it backwards. This lady right here, JJ, she calls people twice. They never answer, right? Who's going to answer phone calls from people they don't know? Nobody. Then she texts them and she said, would you like my custom listing presentation? Yes or no. Doesn't matter the answer. She creates this in her account and she texts this link to them. And they can go through it on their own phone. Okay. And it's creating appointments. That's how JJ got 4 listings in 6 weeks. And I guarantee you, she's going gangbusters. She's shooting for 20 by spring. And she'll probably get there. That young lady hasn't been an agent for more than 15 months, out of high school for 3 years. You can do this. Okay. So I'm stopped here on this page because there's a couple things here. That QR code, because you put a photograph of the home in there, this is only showing that. And you can stop at the kitchen table and say, hey, while we're sitting here chatting, why don't you homeowners scan that QR code and watch what happens? What happens is a link pops up and their home pops up, mobile optimized on their own phone. It's pretty compelling, right? You've talked about all the social media, the print, everything you do. If you go beyond this page, it talks about, hey, I do coming soon, or I don't do coming soon, whatever you do or don't do. Open houses just listed. It tells about all the things you do to market a home. It even has your reviews at the final page, and there's even some PDF guides that can download for free, right? This is really super important. We keep having people come in and say, yeah, I got listings using this way or that way. I don't forget you. So I think the thing that's confusing is the listing presentation generic form sit on the listing presentation page. There's Flipbook, but you're not customizing that to make you unique. When you're adding a listing and a listing presentation, that's how you make for a FSBO or for an expired or a canceled or just a straight listing lead. Okay. Okay. Yours is green. Yeah, it's branded. Got it. I had them printed. Okay, good, Kelly. So you work through the process. So Kelly here has the printed version of that. And I'm in the mastermind group. You can order your prints branded to you right here. Okay. So that's the story, right? That's a big, the listing presentation and how to use it. Don't forget, we've got a live class Scott's going to be doing this week on Thursday about deep into the expired marketing. Okay. Let's talk about this right here. And let me ask, has anybody seen this? Has anybody seen this letter? It's called the Nearby Homeowner Letter. Just give me a yes or no. So if you have a listing, this is created automatically for every listing. Yes, John, I know you, so I know you've seen it. John, let me ask you, you said that you got a seller lead from an open house. How did you do that? Were you using this letter and you got a homeowner to come in? By the way, guys, everybody, John, who has been really doing great, and you can see his call right here, is on the call with us. So I appreciate you being here, John. So let's go to listings and I'll show you what we're talking about here. When you have a listing, there are a lot of tools that we design automatically for you to market, right? And when you have an open house, which I have one right here, we're going to auto post to your social media accounts. We're going to put a landing page on it, behind it, and maybe you're going to capture some leads, some buyer leads, right? You can run an ad. You run a $50 ad, 2,000 people are going to see your open house. If they click on it, you're going to capture some leads with name, email, and phone number. Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. Cool. Okay. So let me show you what John is saying. I asked the question, how did he get the lead? He said, it was from a Facebook ad, then the AI text follow-up. Okay. So he ran an ad on his open house, and you do that by clicking on your open house listing, click Facebook ad, and click that button right there. Right. And John is using our AI text follow-up, which is really awesome, frankly, because it's converting 14% of our leads to phone calls. So if you like having phone calls with your leads, you might want to use our AI text follow-up, which you can sign up for that over here on the leads tab. Okay. So what John is saying is that the AI kind of went back and forth until the person said, yeah, I'm thinking of selling. And that's really a true case or a good point. A lot of our clients really only focus on getting buyer leads because a certain percentage of those buyers actually own homes. And if you work the lead and ask the right questions, and asking the questions via text is very smart, whether you're doing it yourself or you're using our AI text follow-up. But that's how he found a seller, through his open house. But there's something else that most of our agents do, and they go to the nearby homeowner letter. There are 3 versions of the same letter, and that's what this is here. And they print up 50 or even 100 of these, and they door knock the neighborhoods. Okay. And you can see that it says, hey, we've got an open house Saturday, 1 to 4. That affects your home value. Go here to get your free home value. So you are giving this to the neighbors of your open house, right? You don't want to do it the morning of the open house. You want to try to do this during the week so that if they're thinking of buying, they'll come by, right? If they're thinking of selling, they may want to get their home value right there for free immediately, or maybe just come by the open house, right? And that is a big reason, this letter is a big reason why open house marketing was our number one way of getting listing leads this year, listings that turn into listing contracts. So if you go to our YouTube channel and you type on this little, what is this, magnifying glass, and type in open house, you're going to see a number of teams doing calls with us who are hosting 2 to 4 open houses every weekend. They are borrowing the listings. They don't have that many open houses. And so by borrowing listings and you hosting 2 to 4 open houses every weekend, you're going to get more listings. If you combine that with expired marketing, you're going to get more listings. Okay. And there are some other things to do when trying to get more listings. And I mentioned it earlier, so let's chat about it now. One is, I've got a sold property here, right? And it's funny because you can imagine I'm friends with thousands of agents on Facebook. So I see all the fun things they put on social media, and most of them are very colorful, right? Sometimes they're branded really nicely, and they'll say, hey, I sold this home, right? And that's cool, but it doesn't capture any leads whatsoever. And that's where they just let it go, right? So this here is what an automated post looks like on Facebook. Okay. Now, this is free. We automatically post this, but you can also run an ad on that, right? So you can go right here on sold and just click on Facebook and Instagram, and we write it up, right there. Another home sold affects your home value. Click here for your home value. Bang. Click that create button, and it's happening, right? That is a very fast and cheap way of getting listing leads. You'll notice it's a $50 budget for 7 days. And these kinds of leads cost about $7 each. So if you divide 7 into 50, you'd expect about 7 leads with name, email, and phone number. And it's worth your while to click in advanced options and click on create new form and go to form questions and test out some of these new questions. Scott's been adding new questions, which really makes the discussion, the lead conversion discussion, a lot more poignant, right? Like this new question: would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price, right? Would you like to check your home value? No obligation, right? See how AI can help you sell your faster for top dollar. These are all things that are going to, would you like to see how my 100-point marketing plan works, right? These are all questions that can really make the lead a lot more coherent, right? It's a lot more pointed, and your discussion gets more pointed real quick. Okay. So test out some of those things. Simply put, just click create ad and you're good to go. Jane has a question. I find it harder to follow the open house plan whenever I borrow other listings. That's interesting. Send me an email. I have an email, and everybody is welcome to use this. It's on open house marketing. And it has a call. It's an hour-long call with Brian Mathewson. He's one of our office clients. He owns an LPT office. And it's a really awesome call. Very strategic. And you should think very strategically about your open house. But under that video is a bullet points, 6 tools that you need to have at your open house in order to engage homeowners. Because to engage the buyer, you just run an ad. That's it. And you put your signs up and you do something special, have a hot dog cart or something, right? To get people into that open house, right? But to engage and convert the sellers, there are some other tools, and those are in my email. Okay. I'm going to show you one right here real quick. If you go to the media library, and remember, you've taken the Nearby Homeowner and you've already let 100 homeowners know that you're having an open house this weekend. And there's other tools that you can use in our system, but you can also go to the smart TV. And are you asking about the 100 plus marketing plan that you're using in print? Here it is in a video format. Okay. At your open house, or you can have it on a laptop or something like that if it's not furnished. And this is the same listing presentation in print here, and that we have in flip version, the funky music. This listing presentation is in a TV format. You can have this on an 80-inch TV, just as big as you want. And as people are walking through the open house, including the homeowners that you invited, they're going to learn about all the things you do to sell an open house or to sell a home, right? That is the point. That's why our clients were using open house marketing in the open house to get more listings. It's working so well. So this is just a 5-minute commercial. You can run it on the TV. And I definitely recommend that you practice at home. I'm pretty sure most of you have smart TVs. If you go open your YouTube app and point it to this title right here, you can do that, right? You can also download it and put it on your own YouTube channel, right? So that you can tell people, hey, this is how I sell homes, right? So that's part of the open house. So you're inviting homeowners. That's really the key. You're getting the neighbors who live in the area to meet you. That's it. More conversations. That's going to lead to more business. That's just how it is. Okay, so that's the open house thing. We were talking about Facebook, and I want to also say that if we go to ads, there are different kinds of tools that you can run ads on. And so if you're running an ad on an open house or on a home that's just listed, it's time to get buyer leads. And yes, some of those buyer leads own homes, so it's good to get buyer leads. But you can also run ads on pending and under contract ads, okay? And those leads are straight up, hey, this home is closing. It affects your home value. Click here for your home value. That's how that ad is written. Very simply, you don't need to do much. You might want to choose some of those unique questions that we've been adding. But you can also run ads on PDF guides. And you may not know this, but over here on the PDF guide section on the left, there are 80 PDF guides. They're all branded to you on every page, your headshots on every page, and your contact info is on every page. And there are 40 for homeowners. So this is a great way to get homeowners if you don't have listings. If I click on downsizing, that's a relevant topic. Maybe it's time to downsize. Lead ads means our leads come with name, email, and phone number automatically. And I click create ad. And really all I have to do is type in the name of the town where I want to market, where I want people to see this, right? And I'm going to say Walnut Creek, right? That's right. Very near me, right? Lots of homes, a lot of transactions happening there. Now, this is a $50 ad. Do you remember when I said if you run a $50 ad on a home that is sold, your leads will cost $7? If you run a $50 ad on a PDF guide, your leads can easily cost $10 to $12. Okay. And Facebook sets the price on leads. We don't set the price on leads. Okay. And they just cost more. People, you get the name, email, and phone number, and they can download it immediately. Okay. That's another way of getting seller leads. Let's go back and let's look at another way. Let's look at Let me ask you this. Have any of you run ads on Facebook to get seller leads? I know a lot of you have run ads to get buyer leads, but have you done it to get seller leads? Just give me a yes or no. Lots of money, Kelly, lots of money. And so I'm going to point something out, which is, I think, one of the big mistakes that I see that a lot of agents do. You see this generic one right here? Now, I don't know, Kelly, where do you live? What part of the country are you in? Everybody lives all over the country, right? And that picture there may not look like your area, but agents don't think of that. They're just like, oh, I see what that's going to do. That's going to get a free home value. I'm just going to launch that, right? And it doesn't work very well. All you have to do is type in Walnut Creek, right? And you would think, okay, that's going to be awesome. I'm doing it, right? Lots of money, like Kelly there. And there's a couple things that make this don't work, right? One, it's not really speaking to their area. It doesn't mention Walnut Creek anywhere, right? Here it says East Bay. Yeah, that's the link. This actually doesn't look like any part of Walnut Creek that I know of. So you want these pictures to look like your market, right? Yeah, Kelly, you're in Myrtle Beach. You probably have a beautiful coastline shots that you can be shooting, right? So that could look like that. This ad could say, hey, what is your Myrtle Beach home worth? And yeah, you can do this. But there's also another problem with this. You see this right here? Now, Myrtle Beach is different from where I am. And what I mean by that is, along the coast, and it seems like there's a bunch of towns right along the coast. Everybody thinks of, oh, Walnut Creek. Okay. Where I live, I'm like east of San Francisco. I'm considered to be in the San Francisco Bay Area, the East Bay. Okay. And when you run an ad on Facebook for Walnut Creek, you can't make this any tighter. You can't make it. 5 years ago, if we've been doing this, we could have literally targeted by zip code Walnut Creek, or just typed in Walnut Creek. It would only show to people. You could even target homeowners in Walnut Creek, even by net worth. It was crazy how much you could target, and HUD put a stop to that. Okay. Sued Facebook, and you can't do that anymore. But let's see here. Let me change this. See if I can change this view. It's a little hard to see because somehow I clicked the wrong button. And you can see it's easier if you see this in a drawing format. But this right here is Berkeley, Oakland, but a 15-mile radius is pretty much everything on this bit of land here. Now, Walnut Creek only has 33,000 people in it, okay? And let's see here, sorry. Yeah. But this area has 1 million people in it, right? So 1 million people are going to see my ad that is not relevant to them. That's what makes this thing work poorly, even if I created a Walnut Creek landing page. And I can do that. Let me show you very quickly that I actually have a landing creek, a page. Let's go over here to ads and let's do that. And this is actually really important. This gets into a really big discussion of how to use Facebook to get seller leads. If I go here and I say, hey, I've created a landing page for Myrtle Beach or for Walnut Creek. Oh, I have one for Myrtle Beach. Check that out. We do have a lot of clients over there. But you can create one for any city in the country, right? Even in a neighborhood. Yeah, and your homes look different, right? Your streets, I'm sure, look different. But here's the key. You see where it says traffic or lead ads? When you send people to a landing page, they don't like typing in their name and phone number. They just don't. I'm sure if you go to a landing page anywhere on the internet and you are prompted to put in your name and email and phone number, you're not going to do it, right? Because Lord knows there's just so many scams in this world. You're just not going to do it. And neither will anybody else. So if you're using traffic to drive people to that landing page, it doesn't do that well. But when you use lead ads, the lead ad is pre-populated. I'm going to just create it right now. It's pre-populated with the name, email, and phone number of the person who clicked it. Okay. And notice I've got a picture here. This is from the big mall in the center of Walnut Creek. This thing has a ton of traffic. 6 million people go there every year, which is pretty awesome for any mall, right? Like I said, there's a million people that live around us, right? Like within 30 minutes of this place. And this is a great mall, and there's a fountain there. That's what that is right there in the center of the place, and music and food vendors and all that stuff, right? So I could create that ad. I typed in Walnut Creek. It's better, right? It's better. We know though that a million people are going to see my ad because I can't tighten that up. So what about if I turn this off and I click this button down here that says retarget custom audience, and I create an audience called Walnut Creek Homeowners. Yes, Jane, you can change that picture. Yeah, let's tackle that one real fast. When you go to, and this is actually true for all of you, even if you never run an ad, go to your landing page, go here, click that pencil on the top right. And if that picture does not look like your area, right over here on the left-hand side, it says background. And you can upload an image, have it be about 1800 pixels wide. It's got to be big because it's going to work on desktop. And then upload it and save it. And that, because this page actually is auto embedded in so many of your tools. So you want it to look like your area if you want to have that be more effective. Okay. But when you create one, and you can create a landing page by hitting create landing page and doing property valuation plus, and put in the name of your town, Myrtle Beach, or whatever your town is. And it will create a generic one. Oh, here's my generic one here, Kelly. And you don't want to go out asking for people's name, email, and phone number with a coffee cup. That's not building a lot of trust. If it was like a downtown street, you can see right here, I can upload an image. If it's a really popular local restaurant, if it's a school or a building or a bridge that everybody knows in Myrtle Beach, that's going to make this thing work better for you. Okay. And right over here, it says upload image on the left-hand side. Okay. So you can create that, but I want to go back to the ads page, because remember how I was talking about overshooting your area, your target area. There's an awesome way to work around that. You see this blue button that says create audience? Click that, type in Walnut Creek Homeowners, and upload a list. Now you can get that list. It's 1,000 leads long. Okay. It has to be 1,000 leads. So you get this list from companies like RedX, Remind, Vulcan 7, List, Source, or Arch Agent. There are, I'm sure, other companies that sell that kind of stuff. You want, just like this email, this spreadsheet right here says, you want their email address, phone number, name, first name, last name. Your spreadsheet has to be exactly in this. Okay. Have it in CSV, save it in CSV. That tends to work better. You upload it, you import it, and this list called Walnut Creek Homeowners will live in your private Facebook account. Even if you cancel today, it's going to live there. We're not saving it because we can't use it. So if you are really trying to focus on a particular farm market, you probably want to get that list. That list will probably mail the nearby homeowner list, right? Every time you sell a home in that area, you say, or every time you have an open house. I don't think I do it with open house. If I just listed and just sold, that's definitely something I would say. So let's talk about that. So I'm transitioning from Facebook to print, right? If on Facebook, if you're running an ad on a landing page, and that landing page is talking about a particular town, now instead of typing in that town in a 15-mile radius, you can create a custom audience, and you can retarget it by typing in the name of that audience right there. And that works incredibly well. If any of you, is anyone here in the 5 boroughs in the New York area? Because I can tell you, for some crazy reason, Facebook does not allow you to target those areas like Brooklyn or Manhattan or even Hoboken. It's weird. I don't know what in the world is going on, but you can't target. So custom audiences are really vital there, right? Can't you? Yeah. Okay. So we got the questions answered there. Okay. So you got that custom audience. You take on those 4 data points and you put them in, but now you have the mailing address because you bought that at the same time when you bought that list. You want a list of homeowners in your town of more than have owned the home for more than 5 years. And that list needs to be 1,000 names long for Facebook. Okay. Now, I've got a home that's sold here. And you remember I was talking about the nearby homeowner letter, and the nearby homeowner letter is something that agents use at open houses to engage the neighboring homeowners to get more listings. But our clients also mail this when the home is sold. And a lot of our clients mail 100 of these when they have a home that's just listed, and another 100 when the home is finally sold. Okay. So that's really important. This has been for many years our number one way of getting high quality seller leads. It definitely gets high quality seller leads. See, when you run an ad on Facebook, thousands of people see it, right? And somebody might be thinking about it, right? And they can easily click and say, yes, I'd like my answer. But maybe they were just thinking, right? When you mail a piece of paper to them, they have to open the letter, read the letter, make a decision that, yes, I want my homeowner, my home value, and take this piece of paper on their own computer and go to this page and fill this out. And remember, you might not get name, email, and phone number because you're asking them to fill it out on a thing. But if they want their home value, they have to give you their email address. And now you have their email, you have their address, and you can go create a listing just like this thing here and create that unique listing presentation. And you're going to have a real compelling tool to speak with them about. Okay. You might have the printed version like this is generic, and then you show them the one that's unique to their home. Right. But that's been a number one tool for getting seller leads. Not a lot of seller leads. If you mail out 100, if you got 2 or 3 listings, you would be doing really well. You'd be on the high end of the curve. But getting one solid listing out of 100 is pretty good. We see that happen pretty often. So if we go over to the mastermind group, you'll go look for this lady's name, Pat Motley. Pat's been a client of ours, I want to say for 14 or 15 years. And she's taken plenty of my classes on how to get this out. And I used to train on this, and I tell agents, and I still tell agents this, get yourself some brightly colored envelopes, like banana yellow or green or blue or whatever. Don't let this look like junk mail, because this is our letter, right? And she does something that I've never seen any other agent do, although now, ever since this happened, many agents are copying her. After she prints out 100 copies, she flips it over and she uses Microsoft Publisher to print on the back. So it looks like this. Okay. So the front of the paper looks like this. The back of the paper looks like this. Then she hand folds it and hand writes these and puts a stamp on it. That little red stamp that looks like a stamp, that's actually done by the software, right? Why would that lady go through all that work on one home and 200 pieces of mail, 100 just listed, 100 just sold? Took her 4 hours. She got 8 listings from this. So she leveraged one listing and 200 pieces of mail to get 8 more listings. This is something that a lot of our clients really love to have. Okay. And I will tell you this, there's a much easier way to do it. We actually have a printer here called Express Copy. And if you have an account with them, you can connect it and we will add this button to your account. And when you click that, you can say, hey, Express Copy, you have a mailing list. And I want you to mail it to a 1 or 2 or 3 mile radius. They will download the letter, they'll fold it, they will mail it only to single family homeowners who own their home for more than 5 years. And that's pretty awesome. There's only one downside that we see on this, and that is that the envelope looks a lot like bulk mail. And if bulk mail doesn't look compelling, they're not going to open it. You can tell from the letter, it's not a big, heavy read. You scan this in 3 seconds, 5 seconds, you want your home value or you don't, right? So can you get it to people and have them open it? And that's the reason why Pat goes through all this effort. right? 8 listings from one home. A lot of our clients are telling us this company here, Z Airmail, has a really awesome font. You don't even need a monthly subscription. You can just blast things out. And they have the whole addresses and all that. So we're hearing that that's pretty awesome. There's another one, I can't remember what it is, but that is one company that's doing that for us. Or not for us, but for our clients. I do want to point out also that we've made some additions to our eFlyer database. And actually, this is sold. Let's see, eFlyer for your database. Oh, I can't find it. Is it eFlyer? Oh, eFlyer for your seller social media. No, that's not it. We made a change and I can't find it. Maybe it's in Scott. So we've added actually it'll probably be in here in a couple days. If we look at the eFlyer for your database, we're adding a line up here saying, would you like to see our listing presentation? So this home is sold. You can check it out here. You can get your free home value here. So if you have a big database, if you have a big CRM with hundreds or thousands of leads, you should be dropping one of our e-flyers every week on that. And you do that by hitting this copy button up here and copy the HTML code with a signature. If you use Follow-Up Boss, they have a unique format. So we have it formatted for them there. And that says, hey, I sold a home, 1, 2, 3 options. We'll get them to a page to offer them a free home value. By the way, that affects your home value. Click here or here to get your free home value. And remember, that is pointing here, which is why I was saying you want to make sure this picture looks like your area because you're pointing them here and you want people to fill it out, right? So it's better if it looks like your area. So there's another cool tool that I want to mention here. When you have a home that's sold, and this is actually, I think, one of the most ignored tools, but every once in a while our clients figure it out and they use it and they're like, whoa, this is awesome. And I'm going to show you why. We email it to you. And I think what throws agents off is it says, hello, Sally Seller. We're trying to give you instructions like, here's how you use it. And it's the Sally Seller that just turns agents off, I think. But let me show you what it's really about. So we email a tool to you and we're telling you, send it to your homeowner via email. Okay. And call them for 5 seconds and say, I just sent you an email. Would you put that on your Facebook wall for me? If you just sold their home, they're probably going to be happy to do that. And here's why you want them to do that. Let's give it a second. It says, hey, our home is just sold and we want to recommend you at your office for doing a great job. And here is your phone number and email in front of all of my friends and family and colleagues after I just said you did an excellent job. The funny thing about this is not a paid ad. And why that's relevant is that this thing stays forever unless they decide to remove it. And nobody ever remembers that they did that, so they never remove it. And the thing is, we've had clients come in the mastermind and goes, hey, I'm getting seller leads. I don't know why. And we'll ask, do you do this? And they say yes. Because if you do, and one of their friends or family or colleagues logs in next month to Facebook and they go, oh, my cousin sold their home. Oh, interesting. And if they click on it, it opens up the single property website, which is your single property website. And here's that 100-point marketing plan, right? Here is what is your home worth? That's why you want that to look like your area, right? Here are the PDF guides for homeowners right there. They can download them for free as long as they give you a couple answers and give you their contact information. All that is going down, right? Even your reviews are here. But you know what else pops up? It offers them a free home value. So our clients are getting these things here. They're getting seller leads from things that were posted months ago because their colleagues or their clients' colleagues or relatives or family log in months later. Not everybody hangs out on Facebook every day. You come in and they become a seller lead. And it's great to get a listing lead from your current client's sphere of influence, right? From their friends and family and colleagues. It's a lot nicer to get and convert that kind of lead than capturing a random lead from somebody on the internet. Can you imagine that? Let's go back. Joanna, this call is being recorded and it will be on this channel. This is our YouTube channel. It will be here. And if you might have gotten in late, so on the marketing calendar, let's see if I can get in there. There's a resources tab, Joanna, and that's at the very top. And resources is up here on top of this big blue banner. And there's our YouTube channel. This call is being recorded and it will be right there. Okay. So definitely watch this a couple times. What does the soul stay? Yeah. So let's go look at that real fast. So let's go to the mastermind group. So what that stamp said from Pat is that, let's just look here. Let's just look at it real quick. Oh, maybe I just got to type. Oh, really? Okay. Pat. Well, it's just here. It's a problem. So this stamp is actually auto-generated, or it's actually a template, right? So it says just sold on Francis Street. Have a look. So she actually has a list of homeowners in this town. She's been using our nearby homeowner letters for years, and in the mastermind group for years, talking about, oh, I got listings this way. I remember she once said, hey, I got this. I've got 3 listings in one condominium because I keep mailing out the just listed and just sold letters just like this. Okay. I'm going to point out that post came in a couple years ago. If you look for September 19th, she actually gave everybody the template to use in Microsoft Publisher to create that whole look, to create this. And you can customize that obviously with your address and the street that you want to talk about. So go in the mastermind group, look for Pat Motley, and that mailer PG2, that's it. That's the template to get your letters to look like that. Takes a lot of time, but I can tell you, nobody has told us that mailing out with express copy has given them 4 listings. That's the only lady from per 100. So very good to use. eFlyer for your database, very good to use. I think it's the just sold. Yeah. Okay, what else do we need to talk about here? Any questions? It's actually the top of the hour. I better wrap this up. Any questions about what we've talked about? One thing I haven't said is if you go to the dashboard, which every time when you log in, you can go to the dashboard, click on seller leads. And so many of the things I've been talking about today are queued up for you right here. You can run ads on Facebook and Google right here. Google's a great place to run ads on those the PDF guides for sellers and any of your home valuation pages. Great. There's an email designed summer for buyers, summer for sellers, short form video scripts. Normally, and I don't know why, but it's my seller landing pages would be here and my PDF sellers would be here and my pending and sold listings would be here. So let's just do that. Yeah. So those should be here by default. For some reason, mine just fell out. But your seller page, it's all designed to get you seller leads, create Facebook ads, create Google ads, market your sold listings with a nearby homeowner letter, things like that. Can you do retargeting bundles? What does that mean, Sherry? Yeah, this is good time questions. Do you know that was standard? Kelly is asking, do you know if that was standard postage? That is standard. A lot of people do use first class stamps or something like that. The trifold, yeah. Can you do retargeting bundles? Sherry, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Sorry. Here are all your seller landing pages. There's even the 100-point marketing plan, our listing presentation, all of our PDF guides. So everything to get listings is right here, including your generic listing presentation. So you can get that too. The trifold. The trifold. Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, I think I answered the questions. I don't know Sherry's answer there or question there. Yeah, okay, a list of ads. Oh, rotating a list of ads. I don't think you can do that. You can automate ads, Sherry. If you go over here So I'm not sure what kind of ads you want to rotate. But if you go to listings and you go to settings and you go to ads, you might want to do this. Although there's a step before you do that. If you click activate automated ads, you can say, hey, I want my monthly budget to be $300 or $500 or $1,000 a month, whatever you want. Maximum number of ads, and what statuses do you want to run? You can say, hey, I want just listed ads. I want open house ads, and I want just sold, because maybe you don't want to run the ad, right? Like 25 ads in a bundle, like $1 per day, your retarget audience. I don't think we do that. I don't think we do that, Sherry. Yeah. Can you ask for the previous buyer to place a Facebook post for you? I don't know about that one, Ryan. Can you ask the previous buyer to place the Facebook post? No, I don't know. They could be traffic ads, lead gen ads, etc. Yeah, I understand, Sherry. I don't know if we have that set up is the question. That's so when we talk about automated ads, this is what we have. What you're thinking of that dollar per day, I'm not sure if we have that. You can, however, run ads and set it as $1 a day. I wouldn't do, just for going down a different rabbit hole here. If you run an ad, and let's just say on a listing, and let's just say it's an open house lead ad, if you put a budget of $1 a day, which you can do, I don't think you'd get any leads, because buyer leads cost $3. So if you say $1 daily budget and change that to 30 days, you would have $1 a day ad. I think if you're running ads for impressions, which means you're not capturing any leads, that would work, right? You can do that. But if you're actually trying to capture leads with $1 a day, I don't think there's any leads that Facebook is going to sell for $1. Yeah. They are primarily just to stay on top of mind. Yeah, to your retarget audience. Okay, yeah, that's more of an impression ad. And unfortunately, we don't do that, Sherry. But I don't know if you can tell, it doesn't take much time to run an ad. It probably takes about 60 seconds. So if you run a couple of ads and target your custom audience, that would be the way to do it. Any other questions? Don't forget, get on our YouTube channel, get in our mastermind group, get in our expired workshops. Scott's doing expired classes twice a day into February. And I can tell you this, our expireds, like, this has to be a long-term part of your business, right? Whether you're using our electronic flipbook version, and if you watch the call with JJ, you see that she uses a lot, or if you're using the print version like I'm holding in my hand, this needs to be embedded this is going to be, I think, your number one way of getting listings next year. Okay. If you learn to implement it, and if you get into our mastermind group, you will see that we are hosting workshops. You should really get that in there. You should really understand, one, how to do open houses, two, effectively, and two, how to work expireds. These will be your top way to more listings, right? Yeah. And then even FSBOs, if you're going to reach out to FSBOs, right? So everybody, thanks so much for joining me. I will give you one pro tip about ads. Okay. Scott's going to do a class on ads, running ads this week, and there's different lead costs, right? Buyer leads are cheaper than seller leads. Landing page ads, like what is your home worth in Walnut Creek, those cost like $15 each. Those leads cost $15 each. Okay. You run a sold ad, those leads can cost $7 each. So your same money gets more or fewer leads depending on what you're running. But while you're here, I'm going to just tell you, last week was Thanksgiving, and there's a lot of turkey and mashed potatoes flowing around. And a lot of your competitors, realtors just like you, are taking a nap until spring. And the lead cost on Facebook is set partially by competition. And when your competition leaves Facebook, your lead cost drops. We have seen many years where the cost per lead is cut in half. I even remember a year where the cost per lead was cut by 90%. That means you're getting leads with name, email, and phone number for 10 cents on the dollar. I highly recommend you take advantage of that. Test it out. Test out the kind of ads that you want to run, whether they're buyer leads or seller leads. They should cost you less over the winter months. Thanks for joining me here. I hope this helps you. We have a terrific support team down here on the left. Scott and I are in the mastermind group. If you have questions or just want to see what other agents are doing, definitely check in over there too. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the holidays. Bye-bye.